We all know the feeling. You've been working away building some sort of app, and what ends up happening is Claude Code hits his usage limit for that session, and you're left in a position then that you kind of have to just wait. You're waiting for 5 hours. Not anymore, this is going to be the case. Ponytail aim to fix this problem and reduce, I suppose, the overall usage that you have by up to 50%. I'm going to show you in this video exactly, basically side-by-side scenarios of this. What we're going to do is go over the kind of some of the findings that they've had and what they have on it. Before we jump into it, I cover all this inside the community. If you're interested in joining, you have a free 7-day trial. And again, if you're looking to build an AI employee for your business, I have this challenge here. But regardless, it happens at the end of 7 days, you'll have your own AI employee to run. So with this, there's a report and a breakdown here of pretty much what the entire thing does. Now, I went through this, and to make things a little bit easier and friendlier, I've generated this. You can see straight off the bat 54% less code. Again, we're going to test that in a minute, and that's one of the key things I think for someone that's no information about code and I don't have any knowledge of coding. 50% less or 54% less means I can go much longer in terms of creating content or creating building things and stuff and using Claude Code. Why it wins, you can see it on the right hand side. It uses native features first. Custom builds more often is baseline for the base version of Claude, and pretty much it just adds more lines, adds more information to the actual what you want. Now, I have seen in different places already that the outputs of this are decent. There is some, I suppose, minor differences and tweaks, and maybe this is where the extra pieces of code are being used for obviously the base version. So if you're wanting to get it, the link is here. I'll try and add a link down below in the description. It's very easy to set up and install. You go down here, you get the Claude Code information here, and I have this set up here ready to go. Now, I've tested this in just a fake, or not my own, a different folder structure, of course, and just keeping it out of my own main operating system for the time being to test it out and see how it works. Now, I have two different chats open here. One, you can see here, Ponytail is activated, or not activated, I think, and this one here is it's turned off. So yeah, so I turned it off in this one, and the bottom one it's pretty much turned on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it to create, I think, a landing page. So I have a prompt here for the landing pages, and all I'm going to do is get it to create two different versions of the landing page. What I want to do is I want to see how long it's going to take. I want to see hopefully usage tokens, which is the big one, and they're the two key things. So, and what I'm going to do is do the same over here. Make a landing page. So hopefully similar enough prompts. Pretty much all the information is inside of that prompt itself, and the same over here, it's inside of it. So again, I'm just going to activate and run the two of them. And as I said, this is a live test. I haven't done this beforehand, so as I said, we'll know at the end of it pretty much what the two versions are like, how much tokens were used, and did it actually save us, the general user, any money. And again, as I said, I don't anyway say that I'm an expert in AI or coding and things like that. I pretty much just want to use AI to help me in business, and if I can reduce the cost for it, because I create a lot of these HTML kind of style guides and stuff like that, it could be a great way to actually reduce your overall costs. So I'll come back to this as soon as it's done. Okay, so two of these have been finished. Pretty much two of them were created. So that one was about, what was it? This one was very quick, and this is Ponytail is active. Again, I'm going to keep confusing these, I think, going forward. Both of them are being created. So what we're going to do first is test it to see how much tokens this used, and then we'll jump over and see pretty much how the two landing pages looked. So both of these are done, and you can see down here, hopefully at the bottom of the screen, I'll try and zoom in. Of course, I zoomed in too much. So you can see here at the bottom of the screen, this is with the baseline. So this is obviously with no Ponytail turned on. This took 1minute and 15 seconds, where we have 461 lines of code. It cost roughly 53 cents. And over here with Claude, or with Ponytail active, it's 54 seconds and it costs 39 cents. Now again, look, if I'm wrong here with information or what is actually produced, let me know. Again, learning as well as we go. So what I'm going to do now is open up the website. So now what I'm going to do is just pretty much open up the website, and again you can see we have two versions here. Basically we have the index and the baseline. So again, the baseline is pretty much, I want to double check again, our baseline is the one with no, let's go up again, I knew I'd forget this. So Ponytail active is pretty much no baseline, and Then obviously the one with the baseline is with it deactivated. So again, we just, yeah, so baseline is not activated. So you can see here, this is, I've created this, which is the baseline. This is Claude Code in itself, running 100% of its, I suppose, capacity as it can. Build healthier habits to actually fit. I think this was on a fitness thing I built. Recommended. Again, these are all elements that I wanted to bring into it. And if we go up here to the actual other one, build healthier habits that actually stick. Yeah, so you can see it straight away, I suppose, the difference in terms of what it actually produced. It The quality is much less. Um, Pretty much straight out the bat, out of the gate, you can see here that hero section is nothing major at all. Some of the elements, obviously, hero section here is much different. We go down again, everything here is organized, structured, tidy. You can see obviously we have the 6 different sections. Down here, it did completely kind of mess it all up. It could have brought in here. Maybe these are these extra pieces of lines. Again, trusted by this area. And we have that, yeah, you have that up here. Fits a little bit better, I think. And if we go down, you can see real people, real results. And we look down here again. Yeah, look, as I said, personally, I think it's better quality, the actual Claude Code itself, for this instance anyway. Especially building like sort of landing pages. I would be curious to see maybe other ways it can be used. Now, as I said, it is potentially a good opportunity if you're wanting to kind of do, I think what I do sometimes, like as I said, the slides, things like that, where you're allowed a little bit more freedom with things, or just standalone HTML kind of landing pages or presentations kind of things. It could work really well. I think obviously for this instance here, I might have to test it a few more times to see, is it me prompting it or is it just the original setup? There, I know there is different levels to have this running. So again, if we go into this to be sure which one I'm in. So we have, so you can do different versions, light, full, ultra. So I think I originally had this set and it might have been set to light, I want to say. So this one was off. And again, if we just scroll up quickly, I know it was set to ultra as well. So yeah, I'm not really sure why the results were that kind of poor. As I said, possibly could be just my own prompting here, but what to take from it? Well, I suppose the first thing is at least it is saving tokens. Obviously maybe not the full 54 roughly percent for me. Again, could be a problem I'm doing, but it has saved tokens. So if you're doing some sort of task maybe that doesn't require a finished output and it's more of a process and stuff like that, it might work much better for you. But even at that, as I said, it is much better to kind of have some options there to reduce overall token spends, because as I said, there's oftentimes we waste so much tokens by just going back and forth on the same thing. One of the key things I want to mention here is obviously the safe aspect of it. It's like every plugin, you have to be careful if you're downloading it and to be sure about it. But obviously, in terms of here, where it tests its safety score is 100%. If anything can be obviously 100%, of course. Then honest takeaways, huge savings where AI tends to overbuild. Again, I agree with this to an extent. Small difference when code is already minimal. Less code, faster runs. Again, I can see this now. If there's not a massive amount of coding needed, it won't make as many mistakes. But obviously, as you're building out maybe pages like this, it can become a bit, I suppose, less shiny, I suppose. And again, simple, not careless. Best summary, huge. Where there's a bloat, there's to cut. A wash where there isn't, and no safety trade-off. I think that's one of the key things here is you're not risking safety based on just reducing code. And as I said, for me personally, it's something to learn and an understanding of how it can actually help. But overall, it's not the end of the world. I will test it a few more times, and I will look to try and integrate this some way into what we're doing into the system and stuff like that. So look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a good day.